pet stories. Hide and seek. It was a rainy day, and the pets were bored. Then Kitten had an idea. "Let's play hide and seek." She started to count, and the others hurried away to hide. 10! Ready or not, here I come. Kitten crept quietly into the kitchen. She peeked in the basket, behind the chair, and in the big cupboard. But no one was there. Suddenly, Kitten spotted a tail wagging from under the tablecloth. She tiptoed quietly up to the table and pushed her head under the cloth. "Found you, puppy!" Next, they looked in the living room. They searched every corner until... Achoo! A feather landed on Kitten's nose. She looked up and spotted Parrot high on a shelf. "There you are, Parrot!" There was just one more friend to find. Where could Hamster be? Puppy searched in the bathroom, and Parrot looked in the cupboard under the stairs. Then Kitten heard a little giggle. She raced over to the toy box and peeked inside. Hamster was snuggled between the fluffy teddies. "What a clever hiding place," said Kitten, and the pets decided to play hide and seek all afternoon. The mysterious bubbles. Gary Goldfish lived in a beautiful tank with lots of colorful fish. Together they would swim and swirl, until one day they saw bubbles. "But where are they coming from?" wondered Gary. "Next time we see bubbles, we'll chase them," said Sally Seahorse. They waited patiently until... Pop! Pop! They both rushed to catch the bubbles, but in seconds they were gone. "We need a plan." "There they are again. This time I'll swim round one way." "And I'll go the other." They swam in different directions with a swoosh, splash. "Ouch!" Sally launched as she bumped into Gary. Then one more tiny bubble floated up. Finally, they saw where they'd been coming from. "Hello, Winnie." "It was you blowing bubbles." "Yes, I want to see how long it takes for them to pop." Gary and Sally joined the game, and they all had lots of fun seeing who could blow the most bubbles. All the other fish soon swam over to find out what was happening. "Come and join in!" The mystery of the secret bubbles was finally solved. The surfing tortoise. Tiny Tortoise loved to take slow walks in the garden, and he could never keep up with his friends. "You're even slower than Snail," said Dog. But Tiny Tortoise just carried on walking. One day, Tiny Tortoise noticed the biggest, shiniest leaf he'd ever seen. "This looks like the perfect place to rest." He clambered onto the leaf, 1 foot at a time. Suddenly, Tiny Tortoise felt himself being lifted up by a huge gust of wind. He looked around in amazement as the leaf floated as high as the birds. "Hello, Tortoise." All his friends down below stared in surprise. "Look, Tortoise is flying." "No, he's surfing." As the wind dropped, Tiny Tortoise zoomed down to the ground. "Wow, Tortoise, you flew higher and faster than we could ever go," said Cat. Tiny Tortoise gave a huge smile as his leaf flew away. No one ever made fun of Tiny Tortoise again, and animals would visit the garden from far and wide. "We've come to meet the surfing tortoise." "It was magic," Tiny Tortoise would say, with a smile and a wink. Bunny's adventure. Little Bunny lived with her mummy in a cozy hutch. One day she was so excited because she was going to explore the garden for the first time. "Follow me," said Mummy, and they hopped outside. Bunny felt the soft green grass under her paws as she bounced along behind Mummy. "There's something stripy behind that leaf," said Bunny, peering closer. Can you climb like me?" asked Caterpillar. Bunny had lots of fun climbing, and then hopped away to explore a leafy jungle. Mummy pointed to a spirally shell, and suddenly, a friend face appeared. "I'm Snail. Come and meet my friends." As she waved goodbye to Snail, Bunny heard a tweet-tweet above her. She looked up and saw Robin perched on a branch. "Sing with me," chirped Robin, and Bunny happily squeaked along to the song. "Dinner time!" As Bunny bounced over, Butterfly fluttered past in a whirl of color. Bunny raced him all the way home, hopping higher and higher. After such an exciting adventure, Bunny felt very sleepy. She snuggled up with Mummy in the straw and yawned. "I want to play with my new friends all day tomorrow, too." Puppy's new friends. Puppy couldn't wait to go to the park. He rushed through the gates but then stopped. All the other dogs were much bigger than him, and he felt shy and nervous. "Play with us, Puppy," called Sheepdog, chasing a spotty ball. Puppy tried to join in, but he couldn't jump high enough, and the ball went straight past him. Boing! Puppy rushed away to the trees, where a race was about to start. "This looks fun," thought Puppy, joining the other dogs at the start line. "Ready, steady, go!" shouted Squirrel. But Puppy wasn't fast enough, and he soon got left behind. "I'm never gonna fit in here." As he headed back towards home, he heard a woof woof sound nearby. Puppy followed the sound and found Spaniel. "I've lost my ball in the stream," she cried. "Let's find it together," said Puppy. They searched and searched, and at last Puppy spotted the ball. Then the two friends chased the ball into the stream. Splish! Splash! They had so much fun that the other dogs soon joined in too, and Puppy played with his new friends all day long. Dexter Dash. Dexter the hamster loved to run. He ran round and round in his wheel all day and all night. "You're just running in circles," said his friend Stan. "Come and play with us instead," said Sammy. But Dexter kept running. One day he noticed his friends having fun playing chase in the lounge. "Maybe it is time for a new adventure," thought Dexter. He scurried out of the cage and ran to the street outside. He ran past the bus stop. He ran past the shop. He ran past a very shocked Mrs. Green. "Eek! Wee! This is great fun." Dexter ran past a dog. It was a very big dog. Woof! He ran past a bus. The passengers were surprised to see a hamster overtaking them. Brum! Brum! It was a very big and noisy bus. "I don't think this is the best place for me." He missed home but couldn't remember the way. Then he heard a voice. "Dexter!" It was Stan, calling from a window. He ran into the house as fast as he could. I must have run around in a great big circle. He'd had a great adventure, but now he couldn't wait to run in his wheel again. Monster Mouse. When Tiddles came to live in a new house, it was already home to a big, grumpy cat. "Who do we have here?" asked Boris. Just then, a little mouse scurried across the kitchen floor. Tiddles squealed and hid behind Boris's legs. "Who ever heard of a cat being afraid of a mouse?" Boris laughed and rolled around on the floor. Tiddles trembled as a small twitchy nose poked out from a hole in the wall. The mouse tiptoed closer to Tiddles. "I'm Nibbles. You don't need to be afraid of me," she squeaked. Tiddles smiled, and soon the cat and the mouse were friends. Nibbles told Tiddles all about how Boris always chased her around the house. If only we could teach him a lesson. Just then Tiddles came up with a great idea. That night, Nibbles hid behind the sofa with a pan, a wooden spoon, and 2 great big paper plates. Just as Boris was settling down to sleep, Nibbles banged the spoon on the pan. Boris jumped into the air, his fur standing on end. Then when he looked up, Boris saw a pair of giant mouse ears peeking out from behind the sofa. "Help! It's a monster mouse!" Suddenly, Tiddles leapt to the rescue, as Boris watched in amazement. Boris thought Tiddles was a hero, and he never chased Nibbles again.